Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 5. It begins with flashbacks as usual. They spend a lot of time dedicated to that boat down in Louisiana. Is that where the final fight is going to happen? I bet so. I bet that's why this boat is getting so much love and detail and attention to this boat. That's where the final fight is going to be. It's going to get destroyed and we're going to lose an emotional attachment we had. Same thing they did with Red Wing. It begins with the flashbacks and then John Walker's running outside. No one to say on your left too, because he lost everybody he cared about. Lamar Hoskins, he cared about him. Gone. Actually, when he's talking to Bucky and he tries to justify why he killed the Flag Smasher, he's like, but he killed Lamar. And Bucky said, no, he didn't. John Walker said it with so much conviction, I was thinking, okay, Lamar is alive, great. No, he didn't kill Lamar. Carly's the one who killed Lamar. Now, I still think that John Walker is justified in killing a Flag Smasher. This man aided and abetted. This is a person who was a part of the Flag Smashers. He's a super soldier serum. He was in that fight. He wasn't the one who killed Lamar with the punch. But what was every other punch he was throwing to Falcon, to Bucky, and to everyone else? What was his intentions behind that? This guy's not innocent in any way. And I actually think John Walker's right to kill or to end or to however he did it. What did the dude say? It wasn't me. Those were his last words. Just because it wasn't you doesn't mean you weren't there. You weren't exactly stopping Carly. You were in the car when Carly blew up the hospital, was it? Carly blew up something, and you didn't stop her there. You didn't say, oh, you know me, I'm going to rethink this. No, I don't have any sympathy towards unnamed Flag Smasher guy who used to look up to Captain America. He can go. So they fight. It's a full-on fight between Falcon, Bucky, and John Walker, who thinks he's Captain America, but now he doesn't even have the shield anymore. Falcon was doing some cool breakdance falconing with his wings. It's the 5th episode, and the 3rd time they did something new with his wings, which was cool. There was an incident when this fight began, when Sam didn't want to do anything violent, and then John Walker started talking, and Bucky said, yeah, we do. Yes, we will. And Bucky made a move, okay? The camera shows Bucky made a move. It switches over to a wide shot, and in the wide shot, Falcon's the first one to move. Continuity. Come on now. All you gotta do is do that wide shot scene, except do a crop and edit, move your mouse over a half second to where both Bucky and Falcon are moving at the same time, and I won't know. Those things matter here on Showmonger. The way that they break John Walker's arm. With Falcon flying off, cracks, it's broken. You see, Falcon wings, they're not like any other wings. There's helicopter wings that the real Captain America was holding onto a helicopter, holding on the building at the same time. Falcon, no. That's how you know you're not Captain America, John Walker. You're not. Bye. The shield is taken away, and I don't think that Falcon and Bucky speak to the U.S. government because of the way that the senator, asks for the shield back within immediacy. He said, return that shield to John Walker. So it doesn't look like they spoke. It doesn't look like they gave an explanation for even to defend John Walker, because John Walker is the one saying that he killed Lamar. All the Falcon and Bucky need to do is say, no, he didn't kill Lamar, and boom. All of a sudden, he's not being he's being discharged without honor. Whatever the F that was, he doesn't get that. And he might actually be court-martialed because they were withholding that. They were being very nice to him. They also took away his benefits, which is timely. This show was written a lot earlier than when George Floyd died on May 25th of 2020. And it goes to show you that this whole race thing and the conversation Isaiah Bradley has, it's not politically motivated to everyone. Malcolm Spellman's thinking about this every day. It's a live life day. To you, audience member who watches my videos, maybe you think, people are politicizing it on November. It's prevalent. That's the word. It's prevalent to everyday life. There was no suspense of who would win this fight because of the trailer. I saw a lot of scenes of Sam with the shield, throwing it against the tree, getting it back, and I'm just waiting for that scene to happen. So if they're fighting for the shield, it's the 5th episode in. I know how this ends. don't watch the trailers. That's why I didn't watch anything from that new Loki trailer. I'm good. I saw the Black Widow trailer once, the one that came out last week. I'm good. I'm nice. I don't need to see the TV spots or anything. That's my new like way of doing things. Back at military headquarters, Sam is talking to this guy named Torres. Torres says, "Hey, look, your sleeve is back." No one's laughing at your jokes, and Bucky leaves. And then Torres explains to, or Sam gives the wings that he used to have to Torres, says you can keep them. And he gets to become Falcon. And he gets to become Joaquin also, because later in the episode, that's what Sam calls him by. But now Torres gets to be Falcon. Look at that. The mantle has passed. Yay! He is now the second person with that name. Isn't that interesting? How do you people feel about that? He'll be the second Falcon. Wouldn't it be so confusing? I'm very against this mantle passing BS. I don't think it works. I just saw that the new X-Men comic coming in July will have Laura X-23, and underneath its subtitle, they're calling her Wolverine. Okay, cool. What are we doing with Logan? Is Logan dead? Has Marvel given up plans with Logan? No. There's going to be 2 characters called Wolverine. Doesn't that make her secondary? Yes. Likewise for every other freaking media ever. Actually, Sam would, if he's trying to be Captain America, he would be the third one, because Steven Rogers, the piece of shit John Walker, and then he would be the third ever Captain America if he accepts the role, which we don't know if he does or not. And he had a sick conversation with what's his name, with fucking Isaiah Bradley. Back to John Walker. He's outside. The shield doesn't actually belong to the government, and we find this out by a character named, was it Valerie Aguilera de Fonte? But my full name is Cameron, but you're gonna call me Val, except you're gonna call me Val in your head. She said that, and this became one of my new favorite characters I've ever seen. It's so much attitude, so much character coming from her. All she had told me was her name. She wasn't done introducing herself. I already love this character. The only other person who's ever done that was Rob Van Dam. She's on RVD's level, where she just got to say her name. So she explains to John Walker, here's my card, which has nothing on it. Shield doesn't belong. And she said, what else did she say? What does it say here? Oh, those were my only 2 notes. Her name is good. So that's Val for us. I have no idea who this character is comic book wise, because I don't read Captain America stuff. I thought it was maybe Abigail Brand for a second, but no, I don't know who she is. I know the actress was from Seinfeld, but I don't know who she is. Carly, she says, it's time. And everyone in her group of multiracial, but everyone speaks English group understood exactly what that meant. The hell does it mean that it's time? I don't know. Back to Sokovia. For the first time, we're going to Sokovia. Zemo's there. They knew where to find him. I don't know how. But Bucky comes in here. Has a very dramatic talk with him. Do you know she is a supremacist? You have to do what you have to do. Bucky took the gun. Clicked it. Nothing came out. He did the bullet thing from the trailer. And in comes the Wakandans to arrest him. Was that all really needed? Anyways, Okoye speaks with Bucky. Bucky asks for a final favor. And they said it's best for the White Wolf not to be here in Wakanda anymore. Yeah, okay. I won't show up in Wakanda anymore, but you're going to give me some vibranium wings. Something is inside that suitcase that Bucky brings over to Louisiana, where he befriends Sam. They may be playing hard ass, but like, he invited you to your home. Sam and Bucky are now friends. It's not it's not co-workers anymore. It's none of that stuff. They have deep talks, and they have Disney Channel montages also. The deepest talk that they had was when Sam turned into the psychiatrist mode and said, like, you're not amending, you're avenging. It starts with 1. I know there's a dozen names on that list, which Zemo crossed himself off of. Fine. You got to give closure to somebody. He said the perfect thing. We all knew what he was talking about. We were talking about, what's the old man's name? Nakazama? The Japanese guy who died, his dad. That's who he's talking about to amend. And it was a good talk by Sam. And they are friends. And he says, call me when we get word on Carly. Carly's in New York City. Carly hits the little thing on her phone. And one of the dudes in the park is also one of the security people at the UN meeting. Not UN. Global Patriation GRC. Those people. She's got something planned. Okay, you know what, Carly? It's your big finale. You know, you want to go to where they cast votes. That's where you wanted to go to. And this was written before January 6th of 2021. It's amazing how they can keep that in there, which represents their insurrection, which represents the worst of right-wing people. This goes to show you how Disney does indeed lean left, because when it came to the pandemic storyline, vaccine storyline that was canceled, they decided to, you know, shoot around that and dismiss that plot line. But something that makes Trump people look bad, they decided to keep inside there. I'm happy with either, you know, being inside of it. And I laughed my head off when I saw that they were going to the place where these votes are going to be cast to make sure it doesn't happen. I'm like, because I know this wasn't just an ad-lib line. Like, the camera was on her face as she said it. It was amazingly amazing. No, never mind. Fuck that. Sam goes to Baltimore, where Eli Bradley is playing basketball. He didn't mind Sam visiting his grandpa this time. And as Sam is walking up the street, Eli takes a shot. And that shit was an air ball. And I have questions. Why did we not reshoot that? Was the plan for it to air ball? Was it a sound issue? I don't think so. I just think that this is a big mistake. Like, Eli Bradley, I'm supposed to take you as a patriot, am I not? You're going to be the Young Avengers, everybody's favorite team, Young Avengers. Even though we can't name a single storyline from Young Avengers. And we're not looking forward to anything about Young Avengers. They're like collectibles. They're like, oh yeah, that one is Wiccan. And look, Kate Hawkeye is going to be Young Avengers. Okay, but then what? What story? Like, come on. I like the Avengers because we were going to get what? Not Justice League. We were going to get the Infinity Gauntlet story. Oh, they can do the Avengers story where they fight the X-Men. Oh, we can get that. Like, when we talk about the X-Men, do we talk about how, oh, that's going to be Magneto. Oh, that's going to be Wolverine. But we also know the stories of Wolverine that's going to associate with the, you know, with the character in existence. With the Young Avengers, we're just happy to see Patriot. Anyways, Patriot misses an airball shot. I took a little bit too long talking about that. The first woke... I shouldn't say woke. I can't say that word anymore. The first enlightened shit that Isaiah Bradley tells him is, if you can't see it as a black man, you're blind. And then he says that I was screwed over in this way. My friends were screwed over. I freed them. They gave me this huge-ass scar, which Sam couldn't even look at. The quote he goes is, no self-respecting black man would ever want to be Captain America. Somewhere Rick and Remender and Mark Waid are like that kid who got called Terrio. I had a great tweet about this where I said, Isaiah Bradley spoke the truth. Sam stayed and listened to the truth. And then he said, nah, that's your truth. Where's my shield? I'm going to be a good Eldian. He's going to be a good little slave boy for America. The experiences of Isaiah Bradley were shared with him. The wisdom was given. And he's like, no, I'm not going to learn from your mistakes. I'm going to make them my own. Like, Isaiah's telling you that times didn't change. Because if times changed, Isaiah would have gotten the apology. Isaiah's death and everything, that his whole erasure would have been undone. And Isaiah would have been public acknowledged. If people were making amends. Like, I think in Canada, Trudeau is going to apologize to Italian Canadians for something that happened years ago. But, like, that hasn't happened for Isaiah Bradley ever. They never tried to make amends, funny enough. So, wake up, Sam Wilson. But no, this guy wants to be... I wouldn't say he wants to be Captain America. He's not something I'm just going to throw under the rug. He wants to fight using the shield. All right. I understand. Steve gave you the shield. You want to use it to fight like he gave it to you. Just keep calling yourself Falcon. However, when you give Joaquin Torres your wings, I don't know what... I bet the new wings are going to have... The new wings that Bucky delivered, that the Wakandans made, I bet that's going to have stars and stripes too. Bucky and Steve planned giving the shield to Sam which means they probably had T'Challa in on it, and he's the one who spray painted the shield, which is why Io in the last week's fight said just leave the shield with them, because they're like, the king gave it to these guys, they can figure it out. But it's not ours. It's not like they stole it. It's not like the other shields, which we don't know exactly how Howard Stark got his hands on it. Ulysses Claus wasn't alive at the time. But all right, I know where the shield comes from, and I finally have closures to know why Bucky said to Sam, like, "Oh, look, it's Steve. He's sitting at the bench." So Steve and Bucky planned this out. Good. While what's his name was talking to Sam, he mentions Isaiah Ryder. Who's Isaiah Ryder? Is that a basketball player? Isaiah Bradley. As if Sarah knows who it is. Then she goes, "Are you gonna let that man's Are you gonna listen to that man and let him decide what you're gonna do with your life?" Sam says, "What would be the point of all the pain and sacrifice if I wasn't willing to stand up and keep fighting?" Well, the fight, the cause. That is it. You didn't address anything Isaiah Bradley told you in your explanation, where you say, "What would be the point of all the pain and sacrifice if I wasn't willing to stand up and keep fighting?" That's nothing to do with what Isaiah was telling you, and you know it. I'm gonna go. The best thing that you could be is what they showed in the show, where the nephew was touching on the stars of the shield, feeling it. Is you can be a public, well, what Obama was. That's what you can be. Does it mean anything? No. Poverty still exists, and everything that still exists, after the Obama presidency, 8 years, shit's still effed. That's what you're gonna be. You're gonna be, somebody black can be Captain America. But then there's gonna be people like me who go, "You're the third Captain America. You could have been the best Falcon. You could still be Sam." They did reshoot some stuff. Maybe Sam wants to continue going by the name of Falcon. I hope so. Just, if you want to fight with the shield, you want to learn how to fight with the shield, which is what we saw. That was the second montage, where he's not so good at throwing the shield hard. When he was throwing frisbees with Bucky, he was fine, but when it came to doing it hard, no. But yeah, training montage number 2. And he learns how to fight with the shield, I guess. Episode ends with the UN being taken over. "We're going to make sure that the GRC vote never happens," she says. Hits the thing on the phone. Joaquin says, "Hey, listen, every time there's a little message that they send, a place gets attacked. This time it was in New York." All right, that's where Sam's heading to. I'm sure Bucky's going to be there also. End of the episode. Or is it? There's an Iron Man. Clank, clank, clank. John Walker using his freedom medals to create a new shield. Great little touch. I didn't need the post-credit scene, guys. Keep it for like episode 6. But whatever, we got a post-credit scene. Good episode. You have any questions about this episode, or do you disagree with me? Let me know. Especially about the Isaiah Bradley stuff. Especially about John Walker killing a guy. I'm not opposed to hearing the alternate take. Chillmonger, subscribe, click on all the other videos that I do. Peace out.